to Arihant Online Academy, and here in this session we are starting very freshly the course of computer architecture and organization, right? So here in this session the very first topic is important keywords, right? We are discussing this one because that these keywords will be useful to you in the upcoming sessions, right? So from very basics, as we are starting from very basics, so let's discuss important keywords in this session, right? And after this session we will discuss part by part, topic by topic, and we will try to cover the whole syllabus of computer architecture and organization, right? So guys, for making this video useful, please share it with your friends also, and for making motivated us to work for you on this session, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon button so that we can get at least motivation that the students are learning on our e-platform, and we can further try to make some modifications, enhancement in our technologies, and try to provide you some more lectures and quality lectures so that you can prepare your syllabus by sitting at your home, right? So let's start. The definition part is very easy. That is, the computer organization and architecture is the study of internal working, structuring, and implementation of a computer system, isn't it? So you all know that, but still we are discussing it because we are starting it freshly. So the computer organization and architecture, why we are reading this, why we are studying this, it is very important part, that why we are studying CANO, that is computer architecture and organization, because to study the internal working, that how computer works, what are their internal functions, how they can be operated like that, and the structures and the implementation of computer system wholly. So to learn all these concepts we are taking out this course. Okay, now some important keywords. The very first is instruction. So we will use this term frequently in our sessions. So what is instruction? Instruction is basically an order which is given to a computer processor. It is an order which is given to a computer processor by a computer program. We can also say that at the lowest level, each instruction is a sequence of zeros and ones that describes the physical operation at the computer is to perform. So instruction is nothing but, we can example it like that. Suppose you want to perform some functions from your computer, then how will you perform? We need some instructions. Basically computer understand the request from the users by in the form of instruction. So suppose we want to on and off our computer system, a very basic example. So to on and off, suppose we have assigned 0, suppose we have assigned 1 and 0 as an instruction code. So suppose my instruction is working on 1, then it will on the computer, and suppose my instruction is working on 0, then it will off the computer. So it is very basic. We can say that at the lowest level, ultimately it is the sequence of zeros and ones. By following that, instructions can be made and all our requests can be done by the computer. So it is the basic part of the computer architecture and organization. The second very important term in this session is program. So what is program all about? A computer program is a collection of instructions. It is a collection of instruction. Here is an instruction, and the complete collection of instruction that can be executed by a computer to perform a specific task is known as a program. So suppose we want to perform a specific task. Suppose we want to suppose we want to launch a website. We want to launch a website, or we can take it like we want to launch a missile. Then to launch a missile we need to make instructions, but it is not possible to launch a missile just by using one instructions, right? So we need many instructions now, that one by one steps will be going on, one by one steps will be following on, and by executing complete instructions as a group of complete instruction, the missile will be operated or missile will be launched at its peripheral. So we can say that The collection of instructions that can be executed by a computer to perform a specific task is called as program. So program is nothing but the collection of all instructions, right? Now the peripheral, the third term is peripheral. I hope you all know about it. It is very basic concept of computer. Still, it is a term used for hardware devices which is used to input, store or output data from a computer that is not directly part of a computer itself. As an input device, you can take its example like suppose you are using mouse. Then mouse is a peripheral device. As a output data, suppose you are taking printer. So suppose you can take printer as an example. So printer is a peripheral. It is an output device, right? Keyboard is also there. Suppose you are placing it in input device, keyboard. And then output data. In output data, printer is an example, right? So monitor which provides us output. So basically peripheral devices are the devices, or we can say that it is term which is used for hardware devices which is not directly part of computer, but they are using, but we use peripheral devices as an extra input storage or output storage. Suppose we are using a speaker for listening sound, for listening songs, then it is peripheral devices, and you can assume it under a output device, right? So it is peripheral. Next one is high level language. Once we will go on the microprocessor in that part, this kind of terminology will be used frequently. So what is high level language? This high level language term is used for programming languages that looks like language humans generally use. What language humans generally use? So basically the language, like suppose I want to print hello, then I am using directly that print hello as a language. So you can say that it is a high level language, isn't it? But low level language, what is low level language? This term is used for the programming language that is closer to the native language of the computers or machine level language. Means low level language is nothing but it is closer to the computers, means it is in the sequence of zeros or ones which can be used by computers. What computer understands? Computer understands machine level language because it is operated by hardware parts, and hardware understands the sequence of zeros and ones. So the lowest level language is zeros and ones, which is complicated for us to understand, but it is very easier for the machine level. At the level of machine, it is their native language, so it is a low level language. The next one is machine code. What is machine code? Machine code is basically series of binary numbers which can be made of zeros and ones, like that 0000. You can assume it like 0, 0001. You can assume it like 1. Or machine code, suppose we want to perform any specific functions or specific task, then we have to convert all our tasks into the sequence of their binary numbers, and by performing that, even though if we want to print a, then we have to convert this a in the form of its ASCII code, isn't it? And ASCII code is nothing but the binary value of this alphabet. So basically to perform any function, we need to convert our language into low level language, and low level language is nothing but series of zeros and ones, and which is called as machine code. So I hope the difference between high level language, low level language and machine code is understood by you, right? The next one is assembly language. Now one more thing is that the machine code and assembly language. So what is difference between machine code and assembly language, isn't it? So assembly language is a low level programming language that uses mnemonic codes, which is, you can also say that, instructions code used in assembly language to create programs. What is assembly language? Means suppose I am saying add 1 and 2, we use mul h3. This kind of codes like add, mul, did or divide, divide. So for addition we are using code add, for multiplication we are using multiplication, for loading we are using ld. Means we can simply say that it is a mnemonic codes which are used for some important specification in our programming language. So this kind of programming language, suppose I am saying that load file 1, and for file I am using f, 1. So to load file 1, I use this code. So it is called as mnemonic codes. And in assembly language, we use such kind of codes. Okay, so assembly language is basically low level programming language like that. Machine code is completely sequence of binary numbers, and low level language is completely sequence of zeros and ones, which is in the form of machine code. And high level language is programming language that looks like generally humans use, like print hello. So we can easily assume that print hello is nothing but the output should be hello on our screen. So it is complete difference between all these keywords. Now register, so it is also an important keyword in the computer architecture. Register is the internal memory location within the CPU that temporarily holds data and instruction during processing. So the register is nothing but it is an internal memory location. It is internal memory location within the CPU that temporarily holds data and instruction during processing. So basically you can also say that a program is nothing but sequence of or information of instructions, sequence of instructions along with data. So you can classify program as a combination of instructions with data, right? So register is nothing but it is an internal memory location within the CPU that temporarily holds data and instructions during processing. And what is accumulator? The accumulator is a register that is used for arithmetic and logic calculation. So to perform arithmetic and logic calculation in CPU, we use accumulator. And right, and the mnemonic code generally we use is ACC for accumulator. So guys, here in this video session, we have discussed the very basic keywords of the computer architecture and organization, which will be very helpful for us in discussing other concepts regarding this session and this course. So I hope all the concepts are clear to you. Further, if you have any kind of doubts or any kind of queries, please comment us, and please show your activeness with us by liking this lecture, by subscribing our channel and sharing it with your friends, so that it can motivate us to work further in very efficient way, so that you can get some more quality lectures from us. Thank you so much guys, have a very nice day. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.